WT slaying.
Salama family, salama, how y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. So, once again, for you all who haven't gotten your shirts, but there ain't no 400-year prophecy shirts, tail, etc. Your mugs. Now there's a another shirt coming out. I haven't gotten permission yet to show it, but it is tight. It is tight. It is a another shirt of Ain't No 400-Year Prophecy. And it has Biden and Trump and Putin in there with missiles and explosions over their head. It's tight. I'm telling you, it's tight. So that'll be up soon too as well. So check it out. You get a chance. Now, what we're going to talk about today is what I believe is, oh yeah, let me put the link in there. I'll be forgetting, my bad, for the shirts. All right, here's the link, and I'm going to pin it. I'm going to pin it to the top. All right, so what I'm going to talk about today is what I believe might be happening. So just to show you, I mean, you know, like I say, the troop movements and stuff is all rumor mill. So I'm just gonna, you know, explain what I see, because you all know I like to put the pieces together, and that's how I look at things. So, you know, eat the meat, spit out the bones. I mean, I've gotten messages from several people who say they have seen the military equipment as well, some of our listeners. So, you know, you take you know, what you want from it, but like I said, you have to put the pieces together. And so all of these things start adding up. Now, before I show this next video, let's see here. I saw a military tanker on a flatbed here in Atlanta. Yeah, I believe something's happening. Now, the video that I'm going to show, you got to put the pieces together. You have to put the pieces together because all these things happening at the same time and things that we knew were coming. Now, remember what happened with the lollipop, right? When the lollipop came, that galvanized the world. It was an excuse. It was an excuse to have a solution. So they don't call it order out of chaos for nothing. They try to create a new system out of disorder. Now, I'm gonna show this video, and some of you all swift, y'all gonna put the pieces together of what's probably happening, right? So let's listen to this.
Worldwide cyber attack hit several U.S. government agencies. A Russian criminal cyber group is being blamed for it.
Now, senior officials are racing to limit the impact. CBS News' Jared Hill is live in New York for us. So, Jared, what do we know about this attack and how the Biden administration is responding to it?
Yeah, so Keith and Betty, this is something that officials have been watching since at least last month when they say this extortion gang got access to a file sharing app that a lot of businesses and government agencies use. And as you mentioned, the Biden administration is watching and trying to make sure that the fallout goes not too far. Take a look. U.S. officials say a Russia-linked ransomware group called CLOP is responsible for a global cyber attack that has struck multiple U.S. agencies and NATO allies.
This ransomware group compromised a vulnerability in a widely used software.
That software is called MoveIt. Experts say it's a convenient way for governments and businesses to move large files. The cyber attack has affected the U.S. Department of Energy, multiple Johns Hopkins affiliated hospitals, the University System of Georgia, the Minnesota Department of Education, and British Airways. U.S. officials say the ransomware group has already started to release data to extort companies.
The adversaries have a chance to get 2 bites from the same apple, meaning first, they can put ransomware on your computer and say, you can never use your data again unless you pay us money. Then after you pay, they come back again and say, meanwhile, I have a copy of your data and I will release it unless you pay me again.
Former Defense Intelligence official Bob Gourley says cyber criminals can release embarrassing information from medical records or even personal banking data that can then open those affected up to further fraud. CBS News has confirmed that the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency is providing support to agencies targeted in this attack.
All right, so we know what happened during the time of the lollipop, and we saw what was happening over there in China, and you got all the videos of what was happening on China. You ramp up the fear, right? And then you bring in the new laws, right? And this is the excuse to take away your rights and to put the hammer down on you, right? So you have to have the pretext, right, to do certain things. So like in order to force people to, have a lollipop or to eat a lollipop, they had to create the pretext for you to be forced to eat a lollipop and to be scared and fearful so that you give up your rights. And so then that's when all of the whole world and they all go along with the agenda because everybody's scared, right? That's the pretext. So it's sort of a similar scenario that happens all the time. Sort of like with Uganda, right? Uganda passes the pronoun law, right? And so the West is upset that Uganda passed the pronoun law. And so all of a sudden, what happened? Here come ISIS, right? Because they're going to make sure Uganda get that democracy. See? So this is how it works. Now, so you have a cyber situation that's happening. You have a movement of supposedly, we don't know for sure, supposedly a movement of vehicles and military and all that stuff, but it's all part of the rumor mill. I gotta say it that way. But what is the end result? What is the order that comes out of the chaos, right? So what we can see is what may happen, right? Speculating. What may happen is a cyber attack, which a total shutdown of many of the cities, right? And the grid system and all these things, because we already have a prerequisite for it, right? We already talked about Louisiana, how Louisiana got hacked and Louisiana has to change their passwords. You just saw the video about the cyber criminals. So in order to get that order out of the chaos, right, which would be a cyber catastrophe, right, you have to shut down everything. But with the chaos, with the lack of communication and the lack of electricity and people being confused and people breaking into stores and stealing food and water and gold and clothes, because you know it's going to be chaos, right? When certain cities shut down, that you have to have things in place so it doesn't get totally out of control. Now, the question is, what is the end result of the chaos? What are they trying to achieve? Oh, I see somebody. They got it. They got it. You got it there. All right. So what is the end result? So let's see. Oh, I did that. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, what is the end result?
Whole Foods in Washington, D.C. You have to scan to check in. You have to scan to check out. You have to scan to leave the checkout. And then you have to scan to leave the store. Very controversial new Whole Foods in Washington, D.C. You have to scan to check in. You have to scan to check out. You have to scan to leave the checkout. And then you have to scan to leave the store.
All right. So order out of chaos. So technology is going to be interrupted. The old network and economic system will be disrupted, right? Transactions will be interrupted. You will not be able to buy, trade, or sell with the old currency. So this is the time to bring in what? The new system, the new currency, right? Which we all know inevitably will lead to the mark of the beast, right? It's going to lead to the mark of the beast. Now, there's something else happening. There's something else happening that is tied in to the new system. Now, this show not going to be long. I'm not going to be long on this one. But there, along with the new way of purchasing things, as you saw with Whole Foods, right? They're putting the system in because it's going to be tied to your phone, right? You're going to have a code, right? Inevitably, you're going to have a mark in your right hand or forehead. But you're going to have to use your phone to go in and to leave the store to purchase goods. And everything's going to be automated. Everything's going to be tracked. AI is going to track all your purchases. Now, they're also going to end up tying in the social credit system. So when you go into the store, and let's say you're fat, and you want to buy, let's say for all purposes, some cookies, right? They're going to say, well, you can't buy cookies because your doctor has not approved you to buy cookies because, based upon your previous lab results, you have a glucose level of whatever. This is what they're going to do. This is what's about to be implemented. And in my opinion, this is why the military is being placed in every city. They're about to bring in a new system. Now, all of this is also tied to, a big old international body that who knows, right? Listen to what I'm saying, right? You're going to see. It all ties into a big international body of who knows. What do you mean by that, Yacoba? Who knows?
You hear about some people in our world advocating for a global world government, a governance that would allow some individual or small group of individuals to control the rest of the world. That's been the goal of despots and dictators throughout human history, but we're seeing it happen before our very eyes. Today on Prophetic Perspective, we have a very special guest who has just returned from a meeting of the World Health Organization in Geneva, Switzerland.
Who knows?
Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann, who served for a number of years in the U.S. House of Representatives and ran for President of the United States, continues to serve as Dean of Regents College and as a voice for conservative and Christian principles here in America and around the world. Congresswoman Bachmann, tell us a little bit about what you experienced when you went to Geneva, Switzerland, and were a part of at least the audience listening to all the things going on at the World Health Organization.
I was there watching, observing, seeing. They weren't shy. They weren't reticent to tell us what was going on. What was very sad is there wasn't one member of the U.S. House of Representatives that was there for this meeting. There wasn't one member of the United States Senate that was there. They managed to find airplanes and attend World Economic Forum meetings, but they didn't attend this meeting. And this has such profound consequences for every person on Earth, because the plan envisioned is that every person on Earth would come under the dominion and control of the World Health Organization. It was just Monday of this week, 1 week after the World Health Assembly concluded, that there was an absolute bombshell press letter that went out that said the European Union has already developed a global digital passport that would regulate the ability of people to take transportation, and it would also regulate our health issues. That global digital passport, which essentially would be a QR code on your mobile phone, an individual would have to be in compliance with the mandates of the World Health Organization in order to be able to travel, in order to be able to move about. So this was announced on Monday. They didn't wait to pass amendments or pass a global treaty. They announced that the World Health Organization is adopting what Europe came up with that already covers 80 countries out of the 194. The question is, when will the United States go into this system? Because this is how you enforce global government, through this global digital passport. It is a reality. And Monday it was announced that the WHO will take over the European digital passport. And they also stated this will be the first building block, presumably merging digital currency, digital health records. Our entire life will eventually be merged onto this digital QR code. And they said the effective date is June of 2023. In other words, right now.
Who knows? June 2023, the passport. Now, all along with cyber issues, right? Remember, you got to have the chaos in order to bring in order, to bring in the new system. June 2023, and you just happen to see a bunch of military vehicles in all the cities of the country. IMF pushes global central bank digital currency platform as cashless trend builds steam. The IMF is working on a platform that would allow various central bank digital currencies to interoperate on a global scale, which comes amid a broader push toward cashless societies and concerns about risks to freedom. IMF manager Kristalina Georgieva told conference participants on Monday in Rabat, Morocco, that the transnational agency is developing a global platform for central bank controlled digital currencies. CBDCs should not be fragmented national propositions. To have more efficient and fairer transactions, we need systems that connect countries. We need interoperability, Georgieva said. For this reason, at the IMF, we are working on the concept of a global CBDC platform. Georgieva said the IMF wants central banks to reach a consensus on a common global regulatory framework for digital currencies that will give global adoption a major boost. The IMF believes that absence of a global platform on which various countries' CBDCs can interoperate will make a weaker case for their use, and cryptocurrencies will step in to fill the void. CBDCs are controlled by central banks while cryptocurrencies are generally decentralized. There's going to be a mixture of CBDCs and cryptocurrencies. If countries develop CBDCs only for domestic deployment, we are underutilizing their capacity, Georgieva said, adding that the last thing we want is the emergence of settlement blocks where CBDC transactions are settled within separate ring-fenced regional frameworks. She said that out of 114 central banks around the world that are exploring issuing national CBDCs, around 10 have already crossed the finish line, and that we will pursue relentlessly together the development of central bank digital currencies. A key benefit of CBDCs, Georgieva said, is that they help promote financial inclusion and make remittances cheaper. The IMF chief's remarks at the Morocco conference builds on prior statements that make clear the agency sees the widespread adoption of CBDCs as a near given. Georgieva told a conference on May 1st that the trend towards CBDCs is not going to be reversed, and so the IMF had rapidly increased the staff dealing with digital money. Now, we're going to talk about the United States. I'm not going to read the rest of it because, like I said, this is going to be a short show. All right. I don't know why I closed it again, but anyway, here we go. United Nations PI linked to, wait, hold on, let me close that. United Nations planning digital ID linked to bank accounts. The United Nations is planning to introduce a global digital ID system that is linked to individuals' bank accounts. The plan, which is similar to the system developed by the World Economic Forum, is outlined in 3 new policy briefs from the United Nations titled A Global Digital Compact, Reforms to the International Financial Architecture and the Future of Outer Space Governance. The goal of the briefs is to advance UN Security General Antonio Guterres' vision for the future. Officially titled Our Common Agenda, Guterres' vision should be given a green light in September 2024 during an event dubbed the Summit for the Future. Digital IDs linked with bank and mobile money accounts can improve the delivery of social protection coverage and serve to better reach eligible beneficiaries. Digital technologies may help to reduce leakage, errors, and costs in the design and social protection programs. Not unlike their unofficial counterparts over at the WEF, the UN also speaks about basically regulating the global digital future. The unelected organization uses phrases such as international cooperation and many stakeholders who had advanced principles, objectives, and actions to describe this globalist agenda. The UN describes this goal as an open, free, secure, and human-centered digital future. All right, so everybody's calling for some kind of national ID, right, or passport or currency linked to your bank account, which are all going to be tied to the same thing. And like I said, it's going to be a short show, but it's all tied to the same thing. Now, we remember this particular article because I read it several months ago, right? Federal Reserve announced a July launch for the FedNow services. Now, I read this before. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But if you put the pieces together, it starts to make sense, right? We got the cyber issue, right, which is going to be the pretext for implementing the new system because the old system isn't secure enough. So therefore, we're going to have to go to, digital currencies. We're going to have to go to Bitcoin. We're going to have to go to the blockchain, which is more secure, right? And, the blockchain and the whole new system is also governed and analyzed by AI, right? So trying to breach the new network and the new system is going to be close to impossible because of the new infrastructure and the ability of AI to monitor threats against networks and to take appropriate measures, right? So that's going to be the selling points once this system, has major problems. Let's put it that way. So this system is going to have major problems, and so in my opinion, what I believe is happening is that the military is positioning themselves, right? Because they know that these hackers may end up doing something that's pretty bad. And if these hackers do something that's pretty bad, then people are going to want a new, more secure system to protect their assets, to protect their financial interests, and to protect their identity. So you have to have, you have to have the chaos in order to create the order. So, this is my little short thing. I mean, hopefully I don't get beat up for it. I could get beat up for it. I ain't say nothing, but I could get beat up for it. And y'all know where the other channels at, right? Odyssey and Rumble and stuff like that. So I would say this, and I'm going to throw this out to the family, right? Let's send out the prayers. Let's fast. We need deliverance. We need the Most High. Because here's the thing, even if you don't have assets, you do have assets. You do. You may not have a lot of assets, but you do have assets. You know how I know you got assets? Because you're on the internet right now. So you got a phone, you got a computer. Most have a house. Most have food. Most have a bank account. So here's the thing. This is the other thing you can expect. And I'm going to tell y'all to put your warning signs out and your spiritual radar up. So when all of this happens, expect your pastors and expect your mores to say, go along with the system, just like they did for the lollipop. Go along with the system. Go ahead. You got to feed your family. You know, don't listen to Tail Ministries. You know you have to be a part of this, because how are you going to feed your family? How are you going to live in your house? How are you going to do anything, right? So, that's up to y'all. That's between you and the Most High. I'm not telling nobody to do nothing or to do something or not to do something. All I'm saying is listen to the people, because you're going to have a similar situation that happened during the time of the lollipop. How you had all them pastors say, yeah, come take the lollipop. You had all them mores say, yeah, come take the lollipop. And you're going to have the same people come and say, yeah, take the mark of the beast, take the chip implant. That's really not the mark of the beast. Because you know why? Because the mark of the beast was when we were enslaved. The mark of the beast was when we had to show the mass of our cars, when we, our passes, when we were going from town to town. The mark of the beast was when we had chains on our necks. They're going to tell you stuff like that. Mark my words. You're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a decision. And that's why we need to seek the Most High now as a family. I know we had it, the internet, the global day of prayer and all of that. We need to be praying again. We need help. We need Father Yah to intervene. The Most High says when we see Satan come as a flood, he set up a standard against him. We need the Father to set up a standard against Satan, because Satan is moving unfettered. Why is Satan moving unfettered? Because everybody's on his side except the redeemed, and that's both Jew and Gentile. Everybody's on his side except the redeemed. And everybody who look like you are not part of the redeemed. Just because they Negroes, just because they Israel, don't mean they on Yah's side. Why? Because they're going to ignore Yah's word. Well, Yah didn't say that. The Bible doesn't talk about a digital currency. The Bible doesn't talk about a chip in your right hand. That's what they're going to tell you. You know it. But you can't buy, trade, or sell unless you have the mark his name or number of his name, which had to which would have to have a network, which would have to have a global international system of monetary exchange in order for you to not be able to buy globally. I'm just saying. But y'all continue listening to these false prophets and these false teachers, and you'll be caught up in it. You'll be caught up in it. Some people tell me, you know what, Jacoba, you care too much. You care too much. Yeah, I know. I don't want to see my people hurt no more. I don't want to see my people used and abused. I don't want to see my people enslaved no more. I don't want to see my people lied to anymore. I'm sick of it. I don't like it. So somebody got to stand up. But, you know, sometimes I get tired too. Sometimes I get tired of fighting for y'all because some of y'all hard-headed. Some of y'all don't listen. And some of y'all say, you know what, Jacoby, you think you know everything. No, I don't. I just warn. I say, here's the scriptures. Here's what I see. Here's what I think is coming. Just like when I warned you about the lollipop and half of y'all didn't listen. I bet you wish you listened now. We're in a similar situation. We're about to find out who's right. I don't even want to say I told you so. I don't even want to say I was right. I don't even want to say it. I just want the Most High to save us. I want the Most High to deliver us. I want us to go back to the land and enjoy our inheritance away from these Gentiles. That's all I want. That's all I want. I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy the Most High. I want to enjoy the land he gave us. I want to enjoy being around black folks and 99.9% black folks on the continent. That's what I want. That's what I want. I don't need nothing else. I'm good. So long as I go to the land and enjoy it. Now I'm not telling nobody leave because you know they're going to say that. They're going to say, you're cool with telling people to flee again. No, I'm not. Stay here. I can't leave. I keep telling y'all that. All I'm saying is be prepared because there's going to be a short downtime. So there's going to be a short window of no electricity, no commerce, no water to put the pressure and the heat on you so you can say, look, I don't care what you put in, get the system running again. I don't care what you do, what I got to do, get the system up and running again. Oh, you mean I got to take a chip? Oh, well, not right now. All you need right now is your QR code on your phone. But isn't that like the prerequisite to the mark? A QR code, isn't that a tattoo if it was on your skin? It just happens to be on the phone. Is that not like a step away from the mark of the beast? Oh, don't worry about that. Jacoby don't know what he's talking about. The Bible don't really talk about that. Why? Because we've been in slavery, and when we were enslaved, we had the passport, or we had the little pass that Master gave us where we had to show that. That was the mark of the beast. You were already using the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast ain't nothing new. The mark of the beast ain't nothing new. So don't worry about it. Go ahead and get your tattoo. Go ahead and get your chip implant. Don't worry about it because we had the mark of the beast way long ago during the time of slavery. It ain't nothing new. Go ahead. Take it. All I'm saying, family, pray. Pray like you ain't ever prayed before. I want the prayer warriors on their knees. I want the prayer warriors fasting. I want the prayer warriors seeking the Most High. I want to see miracles. I want to see angels, holy angels. I want us to leave here soon because we're in trouble. That's all I got to say. This is all I want to share. I told you it was short. Make of it what you will. It just so happens the Fed now is supposed to come into fruition in July. We have cyber criminal activity happening in June. We have the WHO saying that they're going to implement the digital passport in June. I'm just saying, maybe I'm slow. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe I'm seeing things. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the love of the Messiah. Also, if you want to support this ministry, you can become a patron. You could give Cash App, and also you could go over and get a mug, get a shirt at Gifts Giving for All. I just need y'all to pray. I'm going to pray. You need to pray. We all need to pray. And even some of you Christians, y'all need to pray. I know y'all don't believe the Bible. Y'all believe half what's in there, but that ain't my business. Love y'all. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the love of Messiah. And please support the Dry Bones Project.